Just to follow
Yes.
up in the photo. Hello and welcome to another episode of Luna and the Druid. As you can probably figure it out by now, I'm Luna, and next to me, on the other side of screen, is Jan, the Druid. Hello, Jan. How
Hello.
are you?
Hello, Luna. Yeah, I'm fine. It's lovely. It's a lovely days here in Kerry, and yeah, we're doing fine. I have some noise behind me, and whoop, now it's gone.
Claire says, "Good evening, both and all. I'll be listening in this evening, but probably not in the chat that much. That's fine. So
That's
lovely to have you, Claire.
yeah,
Hopefully, we'll pull some tray of cookies today, tray of biscuits, because today those who love tarot will actually really enjoy this episode because we're going to talk a lot about tarot. There'll be a lot of cards on the table. So, Jan,
yeah,
perhaps you would like to reveal a little bit of that secret what we're going to talk about
yeah,
today.
yeah. The secret of today is it's about reading tarot for yourself.
Mm.
So it's how to use tarot for daily guidance and inspiration. And we're gonna look at a few ways of doing this. So we're gonna look at one card spread. So you pick one card a day. Usually you pick the card in the morning, see what it means, and then get back at the end of your day before you go to sleep and look how it worked. And we give you some journal prompts and stuff like that. And we might share some things about the three card spreads. Personally, I always think if you really want to learn quickly, uh, 9 times as fast as with single cards, do three card spreads a day because you have to connect the cards, you have to work them together, you have to look at more angles. So the learning process speeds up when you do three card spreads. But not everybody has the time or the luxury or the idea to do it. So we're going to pull some cards and yeah, and help you make sense of how to read tarot for yourself.
Yeah, but the question some may ask is why to use tarot on everyday basis, on daily basis? What
Yeah,
can be a benefit of doing that?
yeah. Well, the benefit is that you set your intention, and I would say living purposefully, living the dream, living um, with a clear vision in mind of what you want to achieve with life requires you to set intentions, do gratefulness, visualize, and get back to it. And tarot is a very good helper to ask the question you sometimes forget to ask yourself.
Mhm. Yes, it can be used as a tool of guidance. Absolutely. It can be a decision making tool. If there is something on your mind and you are not sure, or you've been wondering what your spirit guides want to tell you and how they want to guide you, tarot would be a perfect tool to help you and see and uncover a little bit of those hidden elements and turn that uncertainty into empowered decision making process.
Yep, and definitely. What you're saying is tarot might unveil things, might show you things. It's not necessarily things you want to hear, but most of the times things you definitely need to hear and something you need to work on. Um, so the good things, the other things, the shadow, the bright side of your life, the positive vibration, the lower vibrations. Um, when you do a daily spread for yourself, they will all uh, pass the parade, and you learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about the tarot. You learn to work with the tarot for yeah, for the greater good.
Yes, it can be a beautiful part of your everyday morning ritual. I'm all about rituals. I'm all about those little celebrations and doing everything I can in order to make myself feel better. And rituals is one of my ways. And I have my morning rituals, which are absolutely the most important thing in the world for me. And pulling a tarot card could be a part of that ritual as well. Just like Jan said before, to give you an insight, to give you a preview of the day, what's happening, what can you expect. I love to pull some cards before I have a work with clients. I love to turn to cards to see what can I expect, what kind of areas we will talk about. It's also a great tool to just discover the unknown, discover the what's hidden.
Yeah. So think for yourself, dear viewers. What's one area you'd like to uncover, where you like daily guidance on love, career, personal growth, money, houses, whatever, and and let's see, and let's work with the cards a little. How about that?
Yes, absolutely. Before we jump in, Iron Fire Horse says hello. Hello, my dear. So great to
Hello,
have you here tonight.
Magdalena is in the house, and Claire is in the house, and a few more people who we can't see everybody. We only see the ones that do comment.
Yes. If you have your own tarot deck or any other card deck with you, it will be a great time to pull it out right now. So bring it in front of the screen and you can do those exercises and pull cards with us here tonight.
Yeah.
So grab your deck, especially if it's tarot. Today we will talk about tarot, but I promise you we will do a separate episode about how to use oracle cards for the same purpose. Today we want to focus on tarot.
Yep.
However, those who prefer oracle cards, you're in for a treat probably next week.
So today I brought two decks for the
Mhm.
show. I have the old and reliable Druid Tarot. I have an independent deck which I bought on Kickstarter a year ago, which is the Marea Tarot or the Tides Tarot. It's a clone of the Thoth deck by an Italian artist, and so I bought it directly from her. And it's a lovely feminine energy, especially when you compare it with the Crowley Thoth deck, which is way more masculine. So I bring a bit of balance here.
Yes. Today I wrote, probably for the first time, Angel Wisdom. This is an angelic tarot deck of tarot, which I don't think we've used before, especially not
Mhm.
I. So I wanted to bring some angelic tarot as well, because energies there are a bit different. And also I have a Morgan Greer tarot, which I'm growing to be the biggest fan too. I love that deck. It's growing on me. I've had it for a while now, but since last couple of weeks, I have to say this is my number one tarot at the moment. So hence
Morgan Greer,
this
don't
one
forget.
is gonna be on my table today.
And Susan knows the angel wisdom. She says it's a beautiful deck. So
It is indeed. So just to
so
support those who like to work with angels, I've got you covered tonight.
yeah. So what are the steps for reading the one daily card, the one card draw?
Mm.
Um, I'm doing step one. Shuffle your deck. If you know how to rifle, shuffle rifle. I do the rifle on the table. So I do the up.
I like the method of shuffling like this as
Yeah.
well, because that makes my cards fly. This is how I
Yep.
connect with cards.
Oh, what you're
Interesting.
saying, Luna, is a good advice. When a card jumps out, you're shuffling, and a single card jumps out of the deck. That's your card.
Mm,
Don't stop it. Stop anything you do. If you do a one card spread and one jumps out at shuffling, that's the card that wants to be seen. And I always use it for reading for others too. When I'm sitting with a client and a card jumps out, it's the first thing I turn it over, and I say, okay, this card jumps out for you. and they always say, "Ooh, it's always spot on. It's always spot on."
Yeah.
So after shuffling, you draw the card and look at it, and well,
Yeah.
what do I
Yeah, it's
have?
good to set your intention before and perhaps ask
Yeah,
a question if that's what you're about. If you're finding answers, that's the
yeah,
right moment to do that. But you could do it after pulling the first cards as well.
yeah,
It's up to you.
yeah. So set your intention or set a question. If you have, for instance, you do this in the morning and you have something going on. Um, uh, what will happen today when I do this and this and this, or whatever is suitable for you. There are no wrong questions as long as they're not yes or no questions, but just open questions, and then um, or intentions or things you want to achieve, and then ask advice for what's coming. So what shall I ask? Oh, will we have fun today? No, that's a yes no question. How can we have the most success of today?
Exactly. And that's the key. And I'm glad you mentioned it because in tarot, it is important the way how we ask the questions. Obviously, we can ask yes or no question, but that's very surface level. The
Yeah,
better you form your question, the better answer you will get.
yeah. So my question is, how can we make the most of the show today? The card that I'm pulling is the devil. So break free from restrictions. Don't restrict ourselves. Dive into the temptation. Just make sure that you see what the cards see, and it's yeah, it's a devil, of course, Capricorn card. So stubbornness, but break out of your mold. Um, Listen to the whispers in the ear and go with the flow. The
Yes,
devil.
also break free from those perhaps things you were doing and ways you were doing things before, even within your tarot practice, getting out of that strict way of, for example, interpreting cards only by the meaning, not by intuition, only by the book, not allowing yourself to freely release the voice of intuition.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
pulled three cards, even though we talk about one card pool. Um, I'm a Gemini. My cards are talkative, especially today, especially with the angels. And I actually think the cards you could see flying out of the deck was just the general guidance for those who are watching. And I have Seven of Pentacles, one of the cards which recently is showing up everywhere to me and to my clients. And I will read you what this deck says, because the angelic decks usually have more information on the cards itself. So sometimes it's good for people who are just beginning their adventure with tarot. Seeds well planted, efforts or investments that will be rewarded in the future, the need for patience, a time for resting and planting for the future, unnecessary worry. We also have Ace of Cups, beautiful card, which
Mhm.
immediately talks to me about opening your heart, but also allowing yourself to receive. And with this dolphin here, having more fun. But let's see what it says on the card. A beautiful new emotional experience, a romantic relationship or deep friendship, awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual insights, a love letter or a new home. Um, I would never see Ace of Cups as a new home. That is really interesting to find it here. And lastly, I also have One of Pentacles, which is wonderful. A windfall of abundance, wise, sorry, or good fortune. An exciting career opportunity, a lucrative contract, significant purchases like a home or a vehicle. So it's interesting that we both twice have a word home. So perhaps for some of you, there's something's going on within the home environment, or you are trying to find the feeling of being at home with yourself, with your soul, or there is just plenty going on in your home life at the moment.
Yeah.
Take it how it resonates.
I remember our friend Irena last week said that she had some things in her home, so the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups, because there was a leaking in her home, so she had the water flowing through the house.
Mm,
Hope you sorted it out, Arjen, the Iron Fire Horse, the the things. Something is definitely going on with my house situation. Lol. Yeah,
yeah. So by the look of the cards, it's still going on.
it's still going on. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes. Okay, but we pulled cards, completely different cards.
yeah.
What's next?
Yeah, so for the cards that you that or the cards that you picked, what action can you take today? So what action can you take in for me, for instance, in my case, the devil card. You look at the image. So what do you see? If you don't see it, grab your book or grab the white book that comes with the deck and look it up there. Um, the devil card definitely represents removing any blockades, removing any restrictions from yourself, so freeing yourself up. Um, of course, the devil also has this negative connotation, so that's about you know the little
Toxicity.
voice, yeah, the little voice of the ego that says you're not good enough and this and that. So no, you are good enough. Make sure that you are free, that you are liberated from any restrictions during this day, and throw it all out
Yeah,
and have fun. Yeah,
absolutely. With having two aces, Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Cups, this tells me that there is a new beginning, a new journey ahead, which will require patience with this Seven of Pentacles here. So immediately I see an information that something's new coming, that I need to be prepared, that it will bring some emotions up to the surface, that it's also going to be an emotional time, positively, negatively. It's not relevant. But what
yeah,
it says to me immediately, that there is some new energy coming in. So it gives me the idea that, okay, I have to prepare, but I also have to hold the space for it to unfold. And that will
yeah.
come with patience.
Yeah, so it's patient, it's sowing the seed, and then working towards the goal. Don't rush it, because that's the Seven of Pentacles energy. Don't rush it. Don't walk faster than life goes itself. And yeah, and sometimes have a plan B. Seven of Pentacles is for me also a plan B card.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know the meaning, we know what action to take. What's next? What would you do, Jan?
Um, if I do this for my day, I pick the card in the morning, then I go for take a journal page, and I write down the date. I write down which card I pulled. I write down what the first impressions were, what the inside is of the card, and then I put away the leaflet, go on the day, and at the end of the day, I take notice. I give myself the feedback of the day and some final thoughts, some lessons learned. Uh, and so it can be lessons learned of the day, lessons learned of what came. And of course, when you're a tarot practitioner, you always look at what the card has brought you, what the card has learned you. So you become a better tarot practitioner.
Yes, absolutely.
And what would you
Um,
do? What do you do something different?
my tarot is always my tool, a go-to tool. Um, we didn't mention that before, but it's really important to analyze certain symbols on the cards, to look at the cards closely, and have a look what's inside, what's being drawn on the card, because sometimes it will indicate something for you, and your message or your answer or your guidance will come from that particular symbol. So don't be afraid to interpret it. And again, use your intuition. When your eyes are being drawn into certain image, there is a information behind that. So when I see something specific, I like to write it down because I know that this motive can, or that sign can either show up during the day to remind me of something, or it can lead me somewhere where I am supposed to be. But as I mentioned at the beginning, the tarot is always a tool to go to, and when I need some guidance, when I need some certainty about the decisions I'm making. Sometimes I will write it down in a journal, like have a structure to it. And sometimes I will just leave the card on the table throughout the day and just look at it throughout my everyday tasks and come back to it in the evening and see and compare how the day went through and how I could see the cards showing up in the actions or in the events of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, so sometimes a card just doesn't make really sense in the morning. And when you come back, you think, okay, now I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, shall we do one more single card before
Yes.
we move on to the three card spread? Yeah.
No, we
I'll
could
pick one.
actually do some guidance. Pick a card. Me or Jan, we can pull one card with guidance for those
Oh,
who are watching it.
yeah.
And
Single
my
card.
card went straight
Uh,
from the deck.
yeah. So when you, there's two cards here. One is for you. Is it the card that I picked, or is it the card that Luna picked?
Yes. Shall you
Luna,
start?
you can, yeah, you can start. Oh, shall I start?
Yes, please.
Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, inspiration, self care, self love. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Queen of Cups is generosity, it's inspiration, it's love, it's the element of the goddess, of the mother goddess, is all there. So, what do I see here? Um, she's offering the cup, the moon is full, her throne is there, and she has her feet in the water. Um, so it's all about serenity, understanding, uh, and love. And I always say when love is in a card, when love is an element of a card, love yourself first.
Hmm.
Because when you love yourself, you create love, and love is something you can give freely, and it only gets more. It doesn't lessen when you give it away.
Lovely. Lovely. I here have Page of Swords in reverse. That's
Ooh.
an interesting one. I'll show you the image of the cards upright first. Um, when I pull a card in reverse, often it signifies blockage or a need to slow down or a need to do less of something. Page of Swords talks about ideas, but also talks to me about communication and communicating those ideas, expressing yourselves. Perhaps you are very busy right now. You have so many ideas that they don't make sense. And the guidance here is just to take a step back and stop trying to express it and gather your thoughts, because there is that need, there is that impulsive perhaps action towards your ideas. The spirit here is saying slow down, put your sword back, take a breath in, go perhaps within to communicate with yourself if that's the real thing you really want. It could be also something and it's interesting what I'm picking on, that somebody might be snappy. So just to breathe before you say anything. Breathe, because words can hurt.
Yeah, and the Page of Swords, of course, is also a messenger, and the message
Mm,
is outwards. And when you reverse the
yeah.
card, it's the message inwards. What's the message you have for yourself?
Mm. Wonderful.
Nothing.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
I hope this was helpful. So
Yeah.
let's complicate things a little bit, or actually make it easier, maybe with 3 cards, which give us a better story,
Yeah.
a wide story.
So 3 card spreads. 3 card spreads are triads, so we have 3 things. There's many triads. The Druid tradition lives with triads: mind, body, spirit, um, past, present, future, um, energy of today, the challenges, the advice. There are many three three things that you can do. So when you do a 3 card spread, before you pull the 3 cards, think what is card one, what is card two, what does card three mean, and then yeah, do more or less do the same.
Yes.
Shuffle the cards, cut the deck somewhere, and pick your cards.
Before we get into examples of 3 card spreads, I want to point out a few comments here because they summarize the reading we just gave. An Iron Fire Horse says, yes, I may have to move the house. This is the house situation. I'm in the slow mode and looking at all options. And I've been pretty much mute these days, which is just a representation in the way your life unfolds within this energy. And that's why we're also picking on that energy as well. It's amazing how it works, and it will never, ever stop to amaze me.
It's
But
not
okay,
surprising.
3 spreads. What does it mean, 3 card spread? What is that spread? You mentioned that the meaning of a card. This is very simple. It's a simple way of giving you a question and the answer at the same time. It can be past, present, future. It can be mind, body, spirit. So, what your mind needs, what your body needs, what your soul needs. It can be choice A, choice B guidance. What to release, what to embrace, and what is the guidance. Only your imagination is a limit here. But there are some great spreads which you will find in many books, in many guidebooks on how to read tarot. And I suppose we could start with the most simple and the most well known, which is the past, present, and the future, which creates a story itself.
Yeah. Shall we both do one?
Yeah, why not?
And yeah, and viewers do the same. Which message do you pick for yourself?
Yeah.
Luna's message or
And if
Jan's
you're
message?
doing the cards with us at home, write down in the comments what you pull. I'm curious. Okay,
I'm cutting the
I
deck.
have 3 cards. Cards.
Uh, Past,
Hmm,
present, and future on the
very
table.
interesting.
You go first.
Yes. So if you resonate with my energy today, in the past position, I pulled the Judgment, which is called the renewal in this card. I'll read what it says here because I'm quite curious. Reviewing the past with compassion and forgiveness. Time to head in a new direction. Clarity on your life purpose. In your heart, you know what to do. So if you chose me and my reading as your past position, it means that you've actually made the decision already. And right now you're either waiting or taking action towards new. But it is important that you made this decision with time and care, that that's not something impulsive here. With the Judgment, to me, it's also some sort of revelation, something spiritually guided. So there was whatever was going on in your life was there in order to direct you into here and now. What about you, Jan?
Did you pull one card?
Oh, you want me to do the whole thing?
The story, yes, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, why not?
As as a present card, I have here. What is this? Five of Cups. Sorry, I haven't read this card in a while. It's Five of Cups.
Hmm.
Very interesting.
So
Focusing on the negative. Things not turning out the way you anticipated. Forgiveness or self or others. Sorry, forgiveness of self or others. Everything happens for a reason. Look for the hidden blessings. So perhaps you've made a decision, you took action towards it, but it didn't turn out the way you wanted. Maybe there are some regrets, maybe there are some emotions involved, and you're thinking and asking yourself, was that the right decision? Was that the right choice to do? Oh my goodness, there's so much on my plate right now that you actually don't see the opportunities here. And this is important to address right now and to change your perspective and shift what you're looking at within this situation. Because, yes, if something's uncomfortable, we tend to look at it more because it's uncomfortable. So we want to get rid of it. However, if you want to move forwards, and that's where the card number 3 comes in, if you want to actually have that wish fulfillment, you need to wish for the best with the star card here. Beautiful, positive outcome of your situation. Have faith, the future is bright. Dreams come true. Positive changes that bring an end to challenging times. The light at the end of the tunnel. Beautiful, beautiful energy of
yeah,
hope, of directing you that if you push through that challenge, if you overcome it, happy days are coming.
yeah. So and that's
So
and
that,
that's so interesting with the Five of Cups. Eh? You know, you lots of Five of Cups cards. Look at the three cards that spilled over, three cups that spilled over, and there's still two that hold the promise and never, never make. Uh, yeah, yeah, the two cups that the guy isn't looking at. Yeah, exactly. And they come they are connecting you to the stars. So they bring this hope, and they say, okay, uh, things that don't go exactly as you want them will always can always turn for the better if you just keep working, keep positive, have a plan B. The two
yeah.
cups are the plan B. Yeah. So
Susan, are you pulling past, present, and the future? Because Susan
yeah,
shared her cards, and I would love to interpret that in a moment. But
yeah,
just to confirm if that's past, present, and the future here. So
yeah.
perhaps while we're waiting for a response from Susan,
Yes,
your
shall I?
card.
Yeah. I'll do my cards first.
Yes,
So
please.
we start with the Hermit. So the past, the Hermit. We come from winter. We come from a time of introspection. We come from a time of slowing down, and we have looked the whole winter at our situation. We got stuck. We got unstuck. We had understanding, or we lacked understanding. We worked with it. We worked on ourselves. We went within, and boom! And in the present, we're at the moment we're waking up. This is the Eight of Wands. Swiftness, a quick awakening. Um, I remember today that we said and lunch to we said to each other, "Oh Jesus, the the days go longer so fast, and still the days go too fast. You know, the days are longer and they're still not long enough. Everything seems to speed up, to speed up, to speed up, which is actually the energy of the Eight of Wands. That's uh, that's the present. Things speeding up, and the future brings the Wheel of Fortune. So when we speed up, we go with the flow. We give the wheel a spin, and boom! Uh, the slow times, the times when we didn't have the understanding, when we didn't get what was going on all the time, when we thought, oh, things go slow, while we already said 2025, 9 year, 2 plus 2 plus 5, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5, 2025 is the year of the Hermit, and it will be beneficial. It will be quick moving. There will be lots of fortune to be won, so lots of money to be gained. Uh, that's a a reading that's totally spot on with the situation. Yeah, love it.
It's so interesting that actually Suzanne picked her cards, and she also had Eight of Wands as a present. So I wouldn't
So
be surprised if Suzanne would go with you, Jan, today with that message.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, how would you interpret her card pool? I'm curious.
Yeah, well, Susan, when of course when the moon is in your past position, you have been through quick phases anyway. Of course, the moon is also always about the mystery, the things you don't see, the things that are hidden behind the moon, the things in the dark side of the moon. Um, so there's s- uh, in this position, in the past position, there's a similarity with the hermit. It's an introspective, but then from a feminine side, and the hermit, of course, uh, is a more masculine card. So that they balance each other out. And like my second card, Susan pulled the Eight of Wands as well as the second card. So things are speeding up right now. Things are speeding up. Things go faster. The days go by like crazy. You know, you wake up, you start, and then it's lunchtime, and you sit down for lunch, and it's already dinner time. And whew, Eight of Wands energy, and then the Page of Cups, and that's the card for Susan that says, "Okay, Susan, um, take things lightly. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. Walk on water." Page of Cups. I would say the Page of Cups is the Princess of Cups that walks on water, that dances through life, that often um, doesn't doesn't go too hard into responsibility. So Page of Cups, I would definitely for you say, Susan, be kind to yourself the coming time. That's your future. Kindness for yourself. Any additional
My
things for Susan?
interpretation would be different. That's why I asked for Jan's,
Oh,
because every reader may read completely different the same set of cards.
absolutely.
Um, what I felt with this combination of cards is that in the past there was some sort of illusion, which was affecting some flow. And right now, because the moon is in the past position, so you overcome that illusion. There's something was unraveled, unveiled, and they're showing me the image of the judgment cards, which I had on the table. This overcoming that illusion, I will call that, like realizing something wasn't the way perhaps you perceived, right now caused a lot of action, perhaps changes, but also Eight of Wands sometimes talks about communication with other people, because with Page of Cups to me often represents the card of apologies, admitting something to someone. Perhaps there was a situation that something was happening behind your backs and not behind your back, and now you found out, and somebody owes you an apology. I would go into that direction, or apology, or perhaps somebody needs to admit to something to you, which is an emotional kind of offer here. So I'm just curious how it works within your life. Feel free to share it. You don't have to if you don't want to,
Of course.
but it's always fun to have the same cards on the table and interpret that in a different way. At
That
least
always
it's fun
happens.
to me.
That always happens. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We have that in our peer groups that we pull cards and with certain questions, and five readers can come up with five totally
Yeah,
different ideas, and they're all right.
absolutely. And Iron Fire Horse, please do rewind that, because we were pulling some cards with pick a card. So if you missed that, I totally recommend rewatching it.
Yeah.
Um,
So
so
what's the takeaway from all this practically in your home or in your own life? So for people who want to start reading cards for themselves.
yeah. The three cards can give you immediately a story, can give you the past influences, what happened in order for you to become or find yourself in this particular position of here and now, and what is either a solution or guidance for the future, what we can expect. Um, to me, this very quickly turns the unknown, the uncertainty, the fear away, because it shows me that, okay, I can expect difficulties today, or I can expect a heated conversation with somebody. And when I'm prepared, it's not going to take me by shock. So knowing that I can expect something, I'll be more prepared, and I'll be more observant as well to what's happening within my surroundings.
Yeah, super. So when you start doing this, especially when you're learning the tarot, um, creating this story, this narratives, creating this story from a 3 card spread is one of the best ways to speed that up, to get
Yeah.
more understanding. Write it down. Write every day down what you're doing at the start of the day and at the end. So journal. Create a tarot journal. Um, don't we have a good friend that has created the tarot journal?
Yes, I can't paste it in the comments here, so we will post a journal. You can purchase a journal, a digital journal. Our dear friend Julie created from Creative Soul Tarot.
Yeah.
It's a journal where you can download and have a full practice and follow every step over there as well. I will post it under the description of the video, the address where you can purchase that. It's only a $5. Jan, I just send it over to you as well. Perhaps you could copy that and paste it here as well, because the
I have the I've added Julie's name to our to our comments. Let me see. Here it
yes,
is. So if you look up Julie Ambleton on Amazon, and I see
it's
now.
actually not Amazon, my dear. It's it's the
Oh yeah,
creativesoultarot.com. She
yeah,
has
I
a
see it.
shop
I
over
see it
there.
here. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
see it here. I'll post it in the comments. I'll copy this one,
awesome,
post it here.
lovely.
Boom.
I totally recommend. It's brilliant. There is a lot of information on the card itself as well. Julie created also a cheat sheet where she gives you one particular word to the card, so it's easier to learn the meaning of the cards if that's something you're looking forward to do. What is really important to me as a tarot reader is to combine, first of all, intuition, the simple rule of read the beautiful cards
Yeah,
combined with your intuition. And to me, there is no better way of learning how to read tarot and how to use tarot. Because tarot is just a tool which you can use in any direction, with any question you want. But it's important to get familiar with tarot, become friends perhaps, or like it's in my case, the biggest love. And we have here the link on the screen, so feel free to click that. I will also post it in the description box after
and the
the
comments. Yeah,
site as well, so you can click it, copy the link, and just purchase and join our beautiful community of tarot lovers who take this journey seriously and who journal, and through that journal you also support our dear friend as well. So thank you for that.
yeah.
It's only a $5, so it's a cost of a big cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee. Okay, that's good.
And you can learn so much, and you can track so much. You can discover certain patterns. You may discover that the certain card, even though in the traditional meaning represents this and that, you have your own interpretation of that card. We often say, like to me, Page of Cups, for example, card of apology, Page of Swords, card of stalking somebody, watching you on social media, stuff like this.
Yep. So, yeah. So start journaling. Look for patterns over time. You know, you'll get your stalker cards. There's many cards that you'll see that show up more than normal. These are the cards that give you things. Trust your intuition first. If you don't know it, look for the guidebooks. But I would say intuitive first, then the guidebook. Don't overthink the card's meaning. Um, if sometimes you say, okay, let's pull another card for this one to clarify it, don't overdo that either. And don't force positivity. Just be honest to yourself. That's probably the hardest thing to do.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
There is a question
Richard,
from Richard here.
yeah.
Have you
Have you?
recommended a tarot set, Marseille Tarot or others?
Yeah. So that's totally up to yourself. There's many decks. We have a starter video where we talk about decks. Marseille is a very ancient and very lovely and good way. Uh, Luna is at the moment totally on board with the Morgan Greer.
Yes. I personally wouldn't ever in my entire life even touch the Marseille deck. It's too ancient for me. I always say that I'm a modern witch and I don't resonate with all of the old energies because they have a different density and I don't resonate with that tarot at all. So, me personally, I wouldn't recommend the Marseille deck. For beginners, I would recommend something with like this beautiful deck here with some words, with some descriptions, with some
Mhm.
stories. This is also a great way of learning tarot. We talked
Good,
about Wider Greer and
good.
Wider Sleeve Tarot. Why is it good? Go to starter. But right now, if you ask me about the deck, I will always say Morgan Greer because it's just wonderful.
My favorite, my always go-to deck is the Toss Tarot. Very powerful, very in your face occasionally, but I read for myself, I read for others with this deck, and it works magic for me. Yeah, love it.
Magdalena here says, I got three cards: King of Water, Five of Fire, and Two of Earth. In some decks, there will be different name for suits. There will be different name for pentacles,
Yeah.
coins. So here with the King of Water, water is obviously the element of cups. Five of fire is the element of wands, and air would be the element of swords.
How would you read that?
Yes. So with a Magdalena, just if you could drop quickly, was that past, present, and the future spread? I assume yes, because that's what we were doing, and that's what we invited you to do. Um, yes, she says this is about my past, present, future, life purpose, career. Would you like to jump on that, Jan? Because I know personally Magdalena, so you'll be less
Yeah. So
involved.
the past energy. So you could say the energy that is fading out. The King of Cups. Yeah, stability emotion wise. Cups would always, especially the court in the cups, point to inspiration, to new ideas. I, for the King of Cups, have always see a bit of the idea of you have an idea, you go for it, and then another idea comes up and you go for that. So there's a lot of movement in ideas. There's lots of distractions and alleyways that the King of Water has. The Knight has it even worse. So the King is a more stable force, stability in emotions. It's an energy that's fading. So it looks like you're losing some of these inspirational things, especially when we have the Five of Wands there. Um, the Five of Wands always talks about a struggle either inside or with people around you for the top spot. So, in a very competitive environment, either for yourself or with others, that's the moment, that's where you are. And that's probably what keeps you more occupied than being inspired and more occupied than reaching your emotions. Right now, you're just yeah, we could say struggling a bit, a small bit. But then the Two of Swords, yeah, the in the Two of Swords, the stormy seas um, will slowly um, move backwards, and you will be able to block out this negative energy of the Five of Fire, the energy that you're too occupied in the red race. And Two of Swords in my book is all about finding, recovering and rediscovering your inner peace again. When and after that, of course, the King of Water can uh, can flow again, and the inspiration can flow again.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting. And
and
we have a lovely comment from Claire here. A Marseille deck has less pictures, and Claire is an amazing and wonderful tarot reader. So that's an advice and a comment from a professional tarot
mhm.
reader here as well. So the Rider Waite has lots of pictures. Tough also has keywords. Like Luna has mentioned, just pick a deck up and look. Immerse yourself in the picture first. And this is how I pick my decks as well, how I choose them. I just look at the picture, one, two, three cards, ideally, if I can see more, it's great because sometimes you see two, three cards and they look great, and then the rest of the deck is shite.
Yeah.
So this is how I connect. I immediately turn the box because usually there will be pictures, or I go online, I'll watch reviews just to see if I resonate with the pictures, with how the card looks like. But obviously, people can have different ways of connecting with tarot
Yeah.
decks. This is mine, and it seems like Claire's as well. And Magda said, this resonates a lot. Thank you, Jan.
You're welcome, Magda. Thanks for the response.
Yeah, it was so lovely to actually have the opportunity to read cards directly for you guys to give
Yeah.
it the fully personalized experience as well.
Yeah.
What I would love to add here, one of the wonderful three card spreads for everyday use is the energy of the day card, the challenge, and the advice. This is something which will prepare you for the day and will prepare you for what's ahead, what's to come. And you can also ask for guidance how to overcome that challenge,
Mm.
particularly.
So let's put these three card spreads also in the comments or in the description of the video after, and
Oh, good idea.
it
Yeah,
work.
we'll do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Before we move on to saying our goodbyes, Jan has a little surprise for you,
Yeah,
for us today.
something something new. Luna and the Druids were are going into oh reviews. And for today, we're gonna do deck reviews. We're gonna do Oracle deck reviews. We're gonna do book reviews, all kinds of stuff. For today, I have a few reviews related to things friends of mine brought out. The first thing is a book review by Luke Eastwood. He's a druid that lives nearby, and he's a very productive writer. So we have. I have many of his books about the Druid Garden and Samhain and oh Jesus, that doesn't. Oh yeah, Carrie and Dingle folk tales. He now wrote a book about Scotia. Scotia is a legendary Irish queen or Irish goddess, I would say queen, who was born an Egyptian princess and through Spain traveled and became part and she came to Ireland. She's written about in the Book of Invasions, which is a mythological history book of Ireland. And she was probably the daughter or sister of Tutankhamun. Um, and maybe the daughter of Milesius, because she was of the Milesian tribe um, who conquered the Tuatha Danann, the original people of Ireland, and yeah, she's an interesting figure. There, I think it's. I looked it up. It's a very rare to have a book about Scotia. Her name is actually um, also the name of the ancient Irish people who moved overseas to Scotland. So the Scoti are also descendants of this mythological person. What was very interesting, about 5 years ago, I visited her grave because there is a grave here in between Killorglin and Tralee in Kerry, and it's hard to find. It's a lovely walk along a long pathway along the river, and then in the distance you see the stones lying that are her mount. This is her grave from nearby. So an Egyptian princess coming to Ireland, and now there's a book about her. Next, I want to talk a bit about a magazine. A magazine. My wife and I, we both write book reviews for the magazine. The magazine is Pagan Ireland. It's all about paganism, about history, about famous people from the pagan community who passed away or who have something to learn from them. Dreaming of goddesses, Bridget, modern paganism. It's all in there. Um, it's sent. It's a paper magazine, but it's also an e-magazine. So if you're not in Ireland, you can purchase a PDF subscription to this magazine. And in the latest edition, where you have the cover here, I wrote a review about this book, The Easy Way to Learn Astrology by Alison Chester Lambert. And the book is not about creating your birth chart, because that's not easy. It's about reading your birth chart. And reading your birth chart, I here have a birth chart of myself. And these are the charts that you would make with the help of the book, because this chart comes from the website astro.com. And this is my super special chart created by our good friend Tom. Luna is laughing. That's her neighbor. He's an astrologer, and it's a lovely deep dive into my birth chart, and it's way more complicated. The review I wrote was Alison Cheston Lambert. Uh, she offers a clear and accessible guide to interpreting your birth chart. It doesn't focus on teaching you how to create a chart. That part is easily handled by numerous online tools like astro.com. But instead, it dives into how to read and understand the birth chart. The book begins with comprehensive exploration of the zodiac signs. Personally, I found that a bit tedious and a bit long, but they're covering their corresponding elements and the balance between masculine and feminine energies. This section takes up about 2/3 of the book, and so it provides a solid foundation before moving into the actual process of chart reading. And of course, this structure leaves less room for delving into more complex topics, such as grouping the signs, understanding the houses, decanads, and interpreting ascendants and descendants, rising signs, etc. This is my main critique of the otherwise brilliant, insightful, and helpful guide. So, does she deliver on the promise of the title? Yes, she does. If your goal is to read your own birth chart with the book in hand, it makes the process approachable and manageable. But said, if you expect to master reading any birth chart independently, so without a book, after just one read, you may be disappointed. Astrology remains a complex subject, and you'll likely rely on this book as a reference guide for some time. Now you're muted again. Oh, I don't hear you. No, you have to probably have to log in again. Yeah. 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 You say goodbye. I say goodbye. Okay. Thanks all for viewing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Like the video, and we're looking forward to seeing you back next week. And also for Luna, I say bye all.